Gary was going to come, but he's not feeling great today. So.
Oh, okay. Well, you know.
Oh, that's a one. Oh. Two is good because then they can have more.
Yeah.
More choices. Yeah.
You're checking me out, dude.
Yeah.
Double down.
You know,
little wings on that thing.
the hummingbirds
We got one that's down
they're getting back to you go to all the different flowers and trees and they
Elevation.
Yes,
yes, they are pollinated.
They're pollinated.
Yeah.
Hi,
Diane.
Takers.
Hello.
Did you know we'd be here? Did you know we'd be here? She's the one that told us about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let me get you a chair.
Oh, you don't have to.
Hello, sweetie. They're also hunting bugs.
They can't even look at me when they come and go right up to you.
There's a reason for that one, really.
They remember him from last night.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe. Do you think? I don't think so. Do you really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, they do not forget people that are cool to them.
I love this purple.
I'm friends with this guy. Wait, it's just amazing. They look straight at you.
Yeah. And they're not afraid. Yeah. 80 cycles a second on their wings, which is synchronized because every cycle of their wing beat gives them a respiration. And their heart rate is also insanely high, like 80 beats a second. Yeah. Their blood moves so quickly internally that it causes a gyroscopic effect. And it's how they stay stable in the air.
How did you get interested in hummingbirds?
I was really sick, like 8 years ago, and a friend put a hummingbird feeder up on my back porch, and about all I was capable of doing for months was to sit in the shade and watch them.
Yeah.
And then as I got better, I started putting me stuff in. This is what happened.
Isn't that neat? Yes, yes.
And you can get much
So many
closer.
in that palm tree. There's 20 of them in that palm tree.
Yeah, that's their staging ground.
Yeah,
They fly there because they're like bar regulars. They are. They have their favorite feeder, and they have their favorite place on their favorite feeder. And if anybody else is there, they just either wait for them to move or they'll move them. Oh yeah, yeah. You got Anna's hummingbirds. Well, I have Anna's females. They like to come down here and breed. Don't have Anna's males right now because they can't handle all the other birds. They're aggressive and territorial, and they try to dominate, and these guys wear them out.
You know, one time I had a cat that got a hummingbird, and I ran after him, and I tried his mouth open, and I got the hummingbird out, and it was just like it was inside. It was so still, you know? And I put him in a little basket. I didn't know what to do with him. I put him on the porch, and I put one thing in there for him. And the next day he was like still in the basket. And I took him where I knew there were other hummingbirds in my yard. And
sometimes it doesn't
There's
work.
something that apparently frightens them. The other hummingbirds came up right at that time. And he did, and I was just kind of
Now the female black-chinned hummingbird, that it's your hand, was that your left hand? I've known her for 5 years. Yeah.
how long did they live?
9. She, on one of her first flights, ended up on the ground over there, and so I picked her up and put her on a feeder, and we've been friends ever since. They remember that. Yeah, they're actually bigger than the adults when they come out of the nest because they aren't nurtured. When they leave the nest, mom's done. And father's never been around. Yeah.
What a family life.
None of the native cultures use the hummingbirds as exemplars of family life. They're very warriors and sun gods. And, the Huitzil warriors of the Aztec believed that if they fell in battle, hummingbirds would carry their souls to the sun. They would orbit the sun 5 times, which would turn them into hummingbirds, and they'd come back to the people. There are a lot of stories like that.
Hard to believe that there were any of them last night.
They go into a suspended animation at night. It's called torpor. Their heartbeat slows, their respiration slows, everything goes down to a crawl. Their pancreas is partially working to keep them fed, but it can take them 20 minutes to wake up in the morning. And because they look dead in torpor, a lot of the native cultures figure it's a symbol of death and rebirth. And because they're only out in daylight, they're associated with sun gods.
So at night they do not fly?
No,
They don't hurt.
they cannot see at all. Their eyesight is spectacular. They can see like 8 frequencies of light beyond what we can see. They're past ultraviolet. Yeah. But they can't see at all at night. That's the trade-off they make.
And are they, they go in groups? Are they, you know,
Do they roost like crows?
No. Well,
In groups?
they do not group. These birds are here at the same time, but they are not here together.
It's amazing.
They're close to autistic. Yeah. Being on the spectrum myself, I think that's one of the reasons I understand it.
You got action.
Would you tell them about your audience in the Ukraine? We were talking about that a little bit
Oh,
last
okay.
night.
Hey, sweetheart. When the Russians invaded, I've been in AA for 30 years. And when the Russians invaded Ukraine, I found an AA meeting on Zoom. And I've been going every Wednesday morning since. And they watch these hummingbirds from bomb shelters. And I'm terrified for them right now.
Good, just come to sleep better, isn't it? Good.
and I've seen green. Are there other colors?
The Annas are like dark gray with black specks on their faces, on their chests, and they're only the females that are here right now. The broadtails are a lighter shade of gray with less green, and they're bigger than the costas and the black chins.
Our eyes have a red breast, don't they, Leslie?
Sometimes the way the light,
Bright red
I don't know
breast.
what breed we may be.
The
not
costas
identified.
can do red.
It might be a different breed.
The amas are red.
Yeah.
And then the ruby throats are red, but they're back east. And they're real jerks. The ruby throated hummingbirds, they don't allow other birds to do anything.
And although
No, I'm not a
Steve
favorite
proclaims
at the
it's
moment.
good luck, I did get baptized last night. Little teeny weeny bird poop on my head.
Yeah. It just
Very teeny weeny, but I was quite aware of what was going on.
Steve, they eat bugs too, don't they?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
He said,
These feeders,
explain it.
Yeah.
I put kitchen scraps in, and fruit flies grow
Oh, sure.
because 80% of their diet is insects.
That's
Yeah.
why I see
a
them
lot more
over
than
at our
you
place
think.
over there.
Mhm.
I see them poking at the wall. They got to be looking for something that's on the wall.
Yeah. They hunt fruit flies, mosquitoes, gnats, the smaller flying insects, and they snatch them right out of the air. I've got one male in the morning, a male Costa, who likes to perch here because the sun in the morning catches the wings of the fruit flies. And during migration, because when they're coming from the south, they've just flown over the Sonora Desert. And if they're coming from the north, they've flown over the Mojave. And so when they get here, they need food right now. And they'll perch right by the protein feeders and just sit there, getting them as they come out.
When do they show up?
At,
I mean, do
Yeah,
they,
that's
are
just
they
one
here
there
year
where they're
round?
coming at your ear. Because it's different. You can really look at them because they're right in front of your eyes. I was telling her that I like them because they come in right to the land. You can look at them really quickly. You don't have to look down. With progressive lenses.
yeah, I know
See
those.
anything anyway.
They're not done yet.
See, what time do you get your...
Watch what happens when I saw my bosun's pipe. That's my signal that there's fresh nectar out.
Coast is clear too.
How did you learn that?
I was in the Navy.
But you just learned to do that.
Hey Diane, that's Bob. And this is Leslie.
Hi, Diane.
And Bob and I went to Seattle years ago.
The call that I did was hands to dinner.
We've known each other for a long time. We've known each other a long time.
Yeah, how many years is that? 1968. I'd be 40. Mathematician, how many years is that? 30 something. 68, okay, so you gotta get 32 to 132 and 25 is 57. Isn't it?
I said over 40, so I was right.
Poli-sci majors, God, you just can't depend on them. You need a banker. That's what you need.
Mathematician.
That's a lot of years. But there were so many years where I didn't see it all.
Yeah, think about Okamoto. I mean, what's the tuna does today?
Oh gosh. And Connie, didn't you say you
Connie,
went?
before it
So in the morning they come to breakfast.
I set up about a half hour before actual sunrise because they come at the first light. This is the first kick feeder that they hit because it's got the porch light. And so they fly blind from wherever they were roosted for the night and hit that feeder. And some of them will fly and just sit there trying to recover from torpor. It's really amazing.
yeah, they get pretty cold up there.
Yeah.
What time is that right now that they start coming to?
This morning, I saw the first one at 6:15, and by 6:25 the air was full of them. I have neighbors that will keep them fed, but I basically, I was in the Navy and I was a musician. I've done my traveling.
What instrument do you play?
Strings. Mostly guitars because those are popular, but I love mandolins.
Oh, me too. My dad played the mandolin. It's such a pretty instrument, isn't it? Oh,
Really?
yeah, my dad is. He just come down the front room and play that mandolin every once in a while.
Yeah, I
One
love
video.
them.
It's crazy. They're all over.
I was
There were two on these feeders. One was
playing with Sheryl Crow,
Yeah.
and one night on every day is a winding road because it's an A like the mandolin. Instead of going through the guitar, I usually grab the mandolin,
Oh.
and the other guitar player just kind of pitched a fit because I'm unpredictable on stage. And he like, oh, that's good stuff. And he was, I never know what you're gonna play next. And I was like, neither do I.
I lived in Spain for about 2.5 years.
Oh,
And you could just go in the bars,
I know.
and they knew how to play. It seemed like every kid knew how to play.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go in these bars, and they had stuff to attract customers. You know, like they had their tapas and their appetizers and everything. But they also had their things that they did. And we used to go in this one, you know, and you had a serving tray like this, you know, and you put your money on there like that, like that. Everyone would go right in his pocket, you know, and then he'd sit down and play.
Yeah, I spent like 4 months in Valencia, and I spent most of it on the streets playing with gypsies.
Yeah, you'd find them, man.
When I came back and started using flamenco technique on electric guitars, people took notice.
Yeah, we went just in Seattle, Jazz Alley is a real well-known place. And we went to see a guy named Otmar Liebert. He's German, but he plays flamenco. And so good. Otmar Liebert, isn't he good? Oh, I love him. And the other one that's really good is American. You know who I'm talking about? Plays flamenco.
They'll be put out.
He's American?
Yeah, Leslie?
Huh?
Who's the other flamenco guitarist besides Otmar Liebert that we like? Jesse Cook.
So look him up.
Throw him on. Jesse Cook is. If I put it on now, would it throw it works?
I guess they could possibly know you're a little occupied at the moment.
Jesse Cook.
Yeah, that's a dominance position. If he sees somebody he's mad at or the spot he's waiting for comes open, he's got a gravity assist.
think she's the most famous one. It's called Mario Takes a Walk.
I'm an adult film actor, and I do this baking soda trick to never fail in bed and stay rock hard for hours during shoots.
Oh,
All I
good
do
to
is
know.
put a pinch of baking soda under my tongue before
Skip, thank you.
Oh, you gotta have two daughters.
Gotta have some smoke and mirrors, I guess. Big leader.
How I should do this. And it's just, okay. Yeah, you see, you know, do this. He likes, he's very critical in that way. Because he let us on our way one day.
Barbarian?
With food. And
Yeah.
gave
The Upmont Beaver doesn't.
What's that?
Some of the people I toured with
Maybe, yeah.
called
Well,
the
I
longer
eventually-
fingernails on
then he
my
came back
right
and
hand.
Steven got in
My
trouble
quarter-inch
for it,
death
and then he
blades.
invited us over.
I guess it could be.
Well, the
And
metal
it was
strings
all
would
set
break
up,
a lot of
and
times,
he
so
had
I would
some
have
more
to go
chairs.
acrylic.
Oh, really?
I
So
think
there
he's
you
still
are. Very
filming.
nice.
I don't know. He just selectively what looks like
It's going to keep getting more and more crowded here
Is it for
because three species, the Annas, the Broadtails, and the Costas, have all been mating since October. And the babies that are born stay here until just after the equinox when they take off for their migrations.
wow, they're really here right now.
Well, the Rufus migrates 8,000 miles from Oaxaca to Alaska. The Calliope migrates from Yucatan to British Columbia. The ruby throats and the broadtails go from Venezuela, and the ruby throats go up to the East Coast, and the broadtails go up the Rockies. They love going to the far north because the longer twilight gives them more time to eat.
Makes sense.
Plus the Alaska mosquitoes, the Rufus hummingbirds just feast on them.
Yeah. Wow. That would be a heyday up there.
Yeah. Yeah, I've had hummingbirds here snatch a mosquito off my skin.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they just fly right on and take it right off. Yeah, I tell them I don't mind being their bait stick.
I know some have a little tuck in their hair at the back, and then others don't. Is that an age thing or a species?
They could be in the process of molting
Oh,
because they change feathers completely like twice a year.
yeah. Some of them have it, and some of them don't.
Yeah, and that's because of all the work their feathers get. They wear out.
I'll bet they do. Does it heat problem?
It really curtails the